Escape from Giant's Crown. Chapter 6. Oliff's Regret. Ha! You're telling me that you're ready? Oliff demanded as he slammed the old attic door behind him. You mean like how you were ready when I gave you the bone-toothed dagger in the dark forest, right? Now look at you, huh? Look at what it cost me the last time you thought you were ready. I don't think so. Bartol climbed into the bed in the corner and covered his eyes with his paws. Mao huffed. What are you even talking about? The Beast of Tuksa is dead. I killed it. Yeah, remember that? I do remember that. And look at you now, all caught up. Oliff poked him firmly. Mao recoiled and covered his shoulder. Bah! Then he ran over and propped up on the bed beside the circular window and leaned into Bartol, nudging him to the side. Look out that window, at all them ships. One of them's got to be going to Belgard. From there it's only a day's walk to Crescent Isle. We could be there in a few days. Oliff glanced out the window beside him. Several airships puttered across the sky above the rooftops around the rut. It'd be easy to sneak aboard and stow away inside a barrel with the rest of the stone and metal cargo. But if they were discovered, they'd be dragged back to Giant's Crown and locked in an awful place for the rest of their lives. He glanced down at Mao's arm, still in a sling, and the empty bottles of medication on the counter that weren't enough to last a 3-day journey. It wasn't worth the risk. Mao wouldn't be ready for quite some time, and Oliff couldn't imagine going through seeing him suffer again, not like before. Slowly, he backed away from the window. No. No? Mao pleaded. I said no. You're not ready. You almost got killed out there again tonight. I almost got killed? You trashed that guy's face. What was that even about? What's wrong with you? Oliff stared off blankly, knowing there was no way the boy could understand what he'd gone through to protect him. How could he? He was too young. And what did it matter if he did? Mao, these people paid for you to get better. Byron paid for you to get better. Yeah? Well, I don't like it, the kid crossed his arms. I think paying this mayor back is going to cost you more than money. Oliff rolled his eyes. Oh, come on. What's that supposed to mean? He sat down next to Mao. Look, at least here you're safe. For a while. And it's only for a while. You just got to take it day by day. Day by day? Mao blurted. It's changing you. Well, Oliff shrugged. Change is good, right? Mao only thought of the man in the street and how he'd never seen Oliff lose his temper like that. I don't know what's going on with you. You're different. I'm out of it for a few weeks and suddenly you're some kind of thug beating up people in the streets. And what's with that stupid hat? Mao snatched the bowler cap from Oliff's head and darted to the open window on the far side of the room. Does your evil supervillain boss make you wear this hat? Mao coiled his arm back, taunting Oliff as if he were about to hurl the thing through the broken window. Oliff cocked his neck to one side as if to say, don't you do it. Mao did it. The bowler spun through the window and way across the street, where it banked off a lamppost and landed on the face of the bloody man beside the crashed motor carriage who was still lying in the road. The very same man that Oliff had beaten up only moments before. Weird. Mao looked away sheepishly and pretended that it was no big deal. But it was a big deal, and they both knew it. The tension was palpable, and underneath it all, for the first time ever, Mao felt afraid of his Earth Father. Oliff scratched his beard and walked slowly, calmly to the door. Mao could tell he was frustrated, but he had to say his piece. Mao sniffled. This place doesn't matter. You know that, right? The question hung in the air. What about your big escape plan? What about Crescent Isle? Have you forgotten all about me? Gritting his teeth, Oliff said, Forgotten about you? This whole thing is about you, Mao. Mao grew silent. Oh, you mean Tuksa. You said it wasn't my fault. You said it! His eyes flooded with tears. Saddened at the thought of the old village and how the boy still blamed himself, Oliff slumped in his chair. Mao, it's not what I meant. Mao turned away, sniffling into his sleeve. Oliff reached for him, but dropped his hand. Every action he took only pushed him further from his son. Sometimes, the road curves a bit, just to show you where you ought to be going, Oliff said, awaiting any kind of response. But the boy who once hung on his every old-fashioned word was now completely disinterested in anything he had to say. Mao looked at him as if he were a complete stranger, and there was no changing that. Oliff lifted his coat from the rack and walked to the door. Mao stumbled to the bed and fell into the pillow. Bartol rested his chin on the boy's arm as he sobbed, defeated as well. Just as Oliff reached the last step of the stairway that wrapped around the old house, he was greeted by Byron and Dindal huddled together under a large red umbrella. Byron held in his hand the bowler hat that Mao had tossed out the window. I hope you're not planning to go out tonight, are you? He stuffed the bowler hat onto Oliff's head before noticing something peculiar above him. Good heavens, is that another broken window? Oliff squinted and angled his neck to see that there was, in fact, another broken glass in the window on the far side of the attic. Ah, jeez. Boss, I'm sure it was just another accident. Well, don't worry about it, old chap. Byron gave Oliff a firm pat on the shoulder and squeezed. I'll just have Dr. Wheezy send you another bill. Oliff winced. Now chop chop, old boy. I've got a special case for you today.